Welcome back, bookworms and word enthusiasts. I'm Alex, and with me is my fantastic co-host, Ben.
And I'm Ben, ready to unravel more of Katherine Applegate's brilliant writing in The One and Only Ivan. Today we're taking a deep dive into pages 63 through 74, covering chapters from Hunger to A Visit. We're going to pull out those fantastic, worth-learning sentences and vocabulary words, and really discuss their meaning and how to use them.
Exactly. These chapters are packed with emotional weight, and we want to explore that language with you. Let's jump right in with the chapter Hunger.
Alex, that first sentence gives us a powerful emotional image.
But hunger, like food, comes in many shapes and colors.
That's a great example of showing, not telling. It implies that Ivan's belly may be full, but he still feels a deep longing for his old life.
And then Ivan reveals his deepest desire. Still, sometimes I lay awake, wishing for the warmth of another, just like me, asleep in a night nest of tender prayer plant leaves.
This sentence shows his longing for his natural home and the comfort of his own kind. For vocabulary from this chapter, let's learn tended, verb. Its English definition is to care for or look after someone.
You use tended when someone is cared for or looked after. For example, in my new life as a human, I was well tended.
The second word is foraging, verb. Its English definition is to search widely for food or provisions.
You use foraging to talk about searching for food. For example, I felt hungry for the easy safety of my nearby troop, foraging through shadows.
Let's move to the chapter Still Life. On page 64, this chapter is a huge turning point for Ivan.
It is. Ivan is captivated by a painting, saying, I couldn't take my eyes off the apples and bananas and grapes in the picture. They looked so real, so inviting, so edible.
This is a fantastic sentence. It implies Ivan's deep connection to his natural world and the desire for real food.
But that feeling of inspiration leads him to this powerful thought. But at that moment, I just didn't care. I wanted to make something, anything, the way I used to. I wanted to be an artist again.
For vocabulary, let's learn marveling, verb. Its English definition is to be filled with wonder or astonishment.
You use marveling to talk about being amazed or filled with wonder. For example, I dashed over to examine the painting, marveling at the colors and shapes.
The second word is gooey, adjective. Its English definition is soft and sticky.
You use gooey to describe something that is sticky or soft. For example, the frosting looked rich and gooey, dark and smooth.
Now we get to the chapter Punishment. On page 66, this is the first taste of human discipline.
It is. A memorable sentence is, I soon learned that humans can screech even louder than monkeys.
Ouch! He definitely learned that the hard way. And the result was, after that, I was never allowed in the kitchen.
For vocabulary, let's learn screech, noun. Its English definition is a loud, harsh, piercing cry.
You use screech to describe a loud, unpleasant cry. For example, I soon learned that humans can screech even louder than monkeys.
The second word is allowed, verb. Its English definition is to permit or let someone do something.
You use allowed to talk about permission to do something. For example, after that, I was never allowed in the kitchen.
Let's move to babies on page 67. This is a very tender moment. Ivan says, once I even held a baby in mine.
It's such a sweet image, even though he also says, human babies are an ugly lot, but their eyes are like our babies' eyes, too big for their faces and for the world.
This implies that despite physical differences, the innocence and wonder in a baby's eyes are universal. For vocabulary from this chapter, let's learn bedraggled, adjective. Its English definition is disheveled or messy.
You use bedraggled to describe someone or something that looks untidy or dirty. For example, the Big Top Mall had a few bedraggled parrots and a surly spider monkey.
The second word is bowed, verb. Its English definition is bent or curved often because of being overworked or weak.
You use bowed to describe something that is bent or curved like a tree branch. For example, her legs bowed like bent twigs.
For the chapter Beds on page 69, Ivan compares his past to his present. He says, "My old nests were woven of leaves and sticks and shaped like his bathtub, cool green cocoons."
And even though he's in a strange place, he finds comfort when he says, "Still, he made a sleeping sound like the rumble my father used to make when all was well, a sound from deep inside his belly."
For vocabulary, let's learn woven, verb. Its English definition is formed by interlacing threads.
You use woven to describe something made by crossing threads or materials over and under each other. For example, my old nests were woven of leaves and sticks and shaped like his bathtub.
The second word is rumble, noun. Its English definition is a deep, resonant sound.
You use rumble to describe a low, continuous sound. For example, still he made a sleeping sound like the rumble my father used to make when all was well, a sound from deep inside his belly.
In My Place, on page 70, Ivan's feelings become more complicated. He's so confused about his identity that he says, "But many days I forget what I am supposed to be. Am I a human? Am I a gorilla?"
And he observes how humans have so many words, more than they truly need. Still, they have no name for what I am.
For vocabulary, let's learn sullen, adjective. Its English definition is bad-tempered and sulky, gloomy.
You use sullen to describe someone who is quiet and unhappy. For example, Mac grew sullen.
The second word is daintily, adverb. Its English definition is in a delicate or careful way.
You use daintily to describe doing something with small, delicate movements. For example, I did my best to eat daintily.
The next chapter, 9,876 Days, is a powerful one. Ivan gives us a great sentence that sums up his life so far. My story has a strange shape, a stunted beginning, an endless middle.
He also tells us how he's marking his days. I make an X for every day of my life with humans.
For vocabulary, let's learn stunted, adjective. Its English definition is prevented from growing or developing properly.
You use stunted to describe something that has been prevented from developing normally. For example, my story has a strange shape, a stunted beginning, an endless middle.
The second word is precisely, adverb. Its English definition is in exact terms, without vagueness.
You use precisely when you mean exactly or accurately. For example, I always know precisely how many days I've been in my domain.
Finally, we have the chapter A Visit on page 74. This is a very emotional moment for Mac. He's obviously had a rough night, and Ivan notices his physical state with this sentence. He has a sharp smell. He weaves as he walks.
Mac also says a very touching and sad thing to Ivan. We've been through a lot, you and me.
For vocabulary, let's learn weaves, verb. Its English definition is to move from side to side in an unsteady way.
For example, he weaves as he walks.
The second word is mumbles, verb. Its English definition is to say something indistinctly and quietly.
For example, Ivan, my man, he mumbles, Ivan. Wow, Ben, that was a truly emotional and powerful set of chapters. We see Ivan's purpose start to shift from simply surviving to reflecting on his past. The stakes are getting higher.
It really is, Alex. Thanks for joining us today, and happy reading.